Toastmaster, Paul Brunoforte. For the past few days, Paul has been asking people, who is a hero to you? And after hearing so many varied responses, it became very clear that heroes come in all shapes and sizes and are very personal. The hero in most cases was someone that was inspirational, a role model, or someone that accomplished a great deal. Today, Paul will talk about someone who was all that to him. Not so much a hero in the traditional sense, but someone that Paul has admired for his courage, passion, and sense of purpose since Paul was a teenager. And believe me, that was a long time ago. Paul is speaking from the Advanced Manual of Professional Speaker, project number 1, the keynote speech titled David and Goliath. David and Goliath.
If I lived back in biblical times, I really believe David of David and Goliath fame would be one of my heroes. But that was a long time ago, and even though some of you may think I'm that old, I'm really not. My kids might think I'm that old. But there is a modern day David, and that is my hero, Muhammad Ali. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I was introduced to Muhammad Ali right after he won the gold medal in the 1960 Olympics. I was in high school, and I saw him on television. And I knew right then, this was somebody special. He was poised. He was confident. He was articulate. And most of all, he was fearless. And he didn't fit the mold back then of the young male athlete. People said he didn't know his place. Muhammad Ali had courage, but he had to face the establishment. And the establishment didn't like that, like his attitude, especially in the South. That's when he had to face the Goliath of racism. In subsequent years, he would face the Goliath of government in the form of the draft board. He would face the Goliath of religious prejudice when he converted to Islam. And he would ultimately face the Goliath of disease when he got Parkinson's disease. But today I'm going to talk about the Goliaths of boxing. Back in 1960s, boxing was of the golden age. Everyone knew about boxing. Everyone knew the world champion. And back then, in 1963, there was a real Goliath by the name of Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was known back then as the meanest man in the world. He just looked mean. And he came out and he beat Floyd Patterson to a pulp in 2 consecutive fights. No one wanted to go in the ring against Sonny Liston. They couldn't find anybody to fight Sonny Liston. So the establishment thought, aha, let's go get that cocky kid, Cassius Marcellus Clay, and throw him in the ring like a sacrificial lamb and have Sonny Liston beat the pulp out of him. Well, as we all know, Cassius Marcellus Clay went in the ring and destroyed Sonny Liston, the Goliath, even though for 2 of the rounds, Sonny Liston had put liniment on his gloves and rubbed it in Ali's eyes. Ali couldn't see for 2 of the rounds and still beat Sonny Liston. And he went on to beat Sonny Liston again in the first round in the rematch. That first fight, though, was the most exciting fight I had ever listened to. That's right, listened to. Because we didn't have sports bars back then with 50 TVs. As a matter of fact, they didn't even televise the fights live. You saw the fight maybe 2 weeks later on Wide World of Sports. I listened to that fight in a 1958 Chevy Impala with a 1-speaker AM radio. And we were in that car. We were at a hamburger place in the parking lot. And there were other cars, and you could see the cars bouncing around because we were in there cheering like our pants were on fire. It was so exciting. I was having so much fun just listening to a fight. And I thought, never in a million years could I ever be lucky enough to see a world championship fight. Especially one with Muhammad Ali. I mean, it was beyond my wildest dreams. I could have never thought that could happen. And then, in 1966, two incredible things happened. One, I got drafted, not so incredible because everybody got drafted, but I got sent to Germany rather than Vietnam. It was incredible. The second most incredible thing is, Ali agreed to fight Karl Mildenberger, and guess where? In Germany! And I'm over there, my friends and I are freaking out. We're thinking, I can't believe it. Ali is coming to Germany. So we figured we're going. Now this cost more than 2 months' salary, much of which had to be borrowed from loan sharks at 50% interest, which didn't matter, and we needed a 2-day pass. And my friends and I agreed, if we couldn't get the 2-day pass, we're going AWOL. I'll deal with the consequences. There's absolutely nothing that was going to keep me from going to see Muhammad Ali. So we got the pass, so we got our money. We went Frankfurt, 40,000 seat stadium outside, and we had pretty decent seat, not quite nosebleed, pretty decent. By the 4th round, we snuck our way down. You know, 19, who cares? You know, we're sneaking our way down. People are giving us the finger and stuff. We don't care. So we get down in the front, and it is so exciting. Not only are we watching Ali, Joe Louis was there, Matt Schmeling was there, all these world champions were there. To me, this was like going to the Super Bowl, the 7th game of the World Series, the NBA Finals, all in the same night. Unbelievable. The Germans, there's 40,000 seat stadium, 39,975 people were rooting for Karl Mildenberger. And us. And I know Ali could hear us because we were really close and we're the only ones screaming. And he's looking over, you know. So it was really terrific. Now the Germans, they scream every time Mildenberger touches Ali. Like he touches his elbow. Oh! So we decided we're gonna scream every time Ali whacks him. And we wanted to, ooh! We just like 50 times around because Ali is beating him. So here we are. By the 6th round, Mildenberger is pretty much done, but Mildenberger is a southpaw, which kind of confused Ali. And Mildenberger was tough, so he went 5 more rounds. The Germans were starting to think that Mildenberger could win. And in the 10th round, Mildenberger knew he was going to lose on points. So in the 10th round, he comes out, and he's hitting Ali. And the crowd is saying, Milden! Milden! And on the 4th Milden, Ali hits Mildenberger so hard, Mildenberger literally does a backward somersault across the stage. And we're freaking out. The Germans start looking at us. Many of them were in the Hitler Youth. This is in 1966. They're still around. And we thought, but we know we're GIs. We're filled with a lot of adrenaline and beer. So I don't think they wanted to mess with us. Fortunately, it went another round, which kind of diffused it. It was absolutely, unbelievably exciting. And we went on to follow Ali. I mean, I have this man love with Ali. I just thought it was so fantastic. He goes on to fight another Goliath in George Foreman. No one ever thought Ali could possibly beat George Foreman, which of course he did. Sadly, too many people remember Ali for refusing to go into the draft, which was really unfair because there were thousands of people who didn't go into the draft on the conscientious objection, including my brother-in-law. But my brother-in-law is not a celebrity, and he's very white with blonde hair, so he didn't get punished like Ali did. It was years later that everybody realized how wrong that war was. It was years later when everybody realized the courage, the passion, the determination that Muhammad Ali had. And he became the most revered person perhaps in the world. Ali truly was a David to all of us. And I have loved Ali, and I feel sorry for you millennials who didn't get to see him live on TV. He had the greatest sense of humor. He was a terrific man, and he'll always be my David. Madam Secretary.